Hey guys, it's Abi from Autumn of Pellinor, and this is my TBR for the Contemporary-A-Thon hosted by Chelsea Dollins Reads. I watched Chelsea's video to get all of this information and to learn about the TBR, to learn about the readathon, so her video will be linked down below and you can go watch that for loads of information about what's going on. But it is from the 10th of February and it's a 7-day readathon, and there are 7 different reading challenges for you to try and fit books into. Now, if you guys have been watching me for a little bit, you know I don't tend to read a lot of contemporary, and if I do it tends to be more on the thriller side, on the mystery, thriller, crime sort of side. But yes, I don't tend to read a lot of contemporary, but I do have some of it on my shelves, and I thought this was a good excuse to try and get through a bit more. I didn't know that this readathon was going to be going on at the beginning of the month, so I've tried to squeeze in my February TBR books into this, so I actually read them. But I've obviously had to add a lot of extra books because I didn't even have 7 books on my TBR to begin with. So the first challenge is to read a book with green on the cover, and I'm going for Girl Online on Tour by Zoe Sugg. This has got a tiny, oh that's my hair, come on, there we go. It's got a tiny little bit of green on the cover here. I read Girl Online years ago when I was like 17, 18, I'm 23 now for reference, and I ended up with this, and then I bought myself the last book. I think this was a gift from my mother, and then I purchased the last book, so I had them all. I'm aware that this is written by a ghostwriter and not actually by Zoe Sugg. We all have feelings about that, I'm sure, but I want to just kind of complete the series. It'll always bug me if I don't, so I'm going to try and finish off this series. It should be relatively quick. The writing within it is quite large, and the topic is, you know, like it's a YA pretty like flouncy, fluffy story, so this should be a pretty quick contemporary to get through. I'm not expecting to rate it very high, but it's a way to kind of get it ticked off the list. Next up is a contemporary that's new to me, or well, an author that's new to me, and I'm going for Jojo Moyes, and The Giver of Stars was on my original February TBR. I don't really know much about this. My friend bought me it for my birthday, and then I never got around to reading it. She said it's about writers trying to get more people into writing, and it's set in the late 30s, so it's that kind of atmosphere for women. It seems to follow women in the 1930s US, writing, exploring themselves, and I think it should be quite a deep book, and the cover's gorgeous. Challenge 3 is to read a diverse book, The Existence of Amy by Lana Grace Riva. I was sent this for review by the author. As you can probably tell, it's a self-published Amazon book, and it is about mental health. I've read a book by this author before, which is a non-fiction book about mental health, and I actually quite enjoyed that. It was kind of a guide to helping yourself through, and while it didn't help me because I already had this information, I did think it was well written and wasn't patronising nor misleading. So I'm interested to see how Lana Grace Riva does with a fiction work. So, book 3. Challenge 4 is to read a book that's been on your TBR for over a year. Of course, I have a lot of books that qualify for this, but not many that are contemporaries. I went with Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. This was also on my original February TBR that my friend picked out. I'll leave that linked up as well if you want to go see it. My best friend picked my entire TBR. It was a bit weird. And yeah, I've had this on my TBR forever. That's a lie, it's obviously not been forever. Since 2016, 2017, I've had this on my TBR and I've been meaning to pick it up. It fit quite well in here. Challenge 5 is to read a dark or hard-hitting contemporary. This is a little easier for me than it is for some other people who might read contemporary, because I read a lot of thriller mysteries compared to just average contemporary, and so I'm going to read Black Eyed Susans by Julia Hirbelin. Or Julia Hirbelin, I don't know where she's from, I need to check that. This was bought by my lovely boyfriend in 2017, and I haven't read it yet. and he's getting a bit miffed. There are a few books that he's bought me that I haven't read yet, and he's like, why not? And I pan to my shelves and show him. And he understands, because there's plenty of books I've bought him he's not read yet either. But yes, this is a thriller that... Oh! Elizabeth is missing! This is about an old lady and her friend goes missing, and no one else seems to care or have noticed, and it's her being like, what? That's that one. This one is, there was a murderer, a murderer, who covered bodies with black-eyed Susans. I'm a mess. So there was a murderer that covered their victims with black-eyed Susans when they abandoned them, and one girl survived this experience and was left unconscious with all of these, and obviously went through some sort of recovery process and all that, but someone's now planting these flowers outside her window, and she's concerned that the wrong person was put behind bars and that the real killer is still on the loose. So I think that is dark and hard-hitting. Challenge 6 is to read a book with an illustrated cover. Now, I have had a couple of these come up already, but I've went with the Princess Plot by Kirsten Boy. This isn't as illustrated as some of the others, but I still do think it counts. It'll be more computer illustrated than looking traditionally hand-drawn, but I love this cover because it's got like the bullet holes and it's cool. I have read this already. This is my reread for the booktube rereadathon for February, which is a book you haven't read in 10 years. This, ooh, how to not spoil. This follows a young girl who is cast in a movie role because she looks very like the main protagonist, who is a princess, but then all is not as it seems, and the princess seems to have disappeared from her country, and she's she's made to stand in for her so that the people don't know that she's run away, and it goes on from there. This is the first book in a duology called Scandia, and I loved them when I was younger, and I'm really excited to read it again. This should also hopefully be a quick read. It is 400 odd pages long, but it's YA contemporary that I've read before, so it shouldn't be too bad. And lastly is a book that is beloved by a member of the bookish community, The Unseen World by Liz Muir. Alex Black from Alex Black Reads, I'll link her channel down below, actually sent me this book. She also sent it to Abi Mac Reads because she loves it. All I know is it's set in the 1980s and it's about a man.
Yes, whose parent? Father?
I vaguely knew. It's about a young girl whose father is diagnosed with Alzheimer's and their life, essentially. I'm sure there'll be more plot twists and turns and things, but that is the essence of it. I'm pretty sure that counts as a contemporary book. And yeah, Alex adores this. I'll link her channel down below, but she loved this book so much that she actually bought it and sent it to me and Abby. Well, we're both called Abby, that's not helpful. From the US to Britain, because we're both called Abby, we both spell it the same way, and we both live in the UK. Only slightly confusing. And yes, I'll link Abby's video where she mentions that she has it. I think she did a haul down below or in the cards, one of the two. And those are all the books that I am planning to read during the 7 days of the Contemporary-A-Thon, which is quite a bit. I'm having to use my face to hold them up. Can I pile them? Yes, I can physically pile them, but is it going to work? There we go. No. So these are all the books that I'm going to be attempting to read. It's quite the pile. This is bigger than my month-long TBR, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to manage it, if I'm being perfectly honest. And my main goals are going to be the TBR that my friend picked out for me, just because that was my original TBR, but we will see, and my rereadathon book. But we'll see how it goes, and fingers crossed I can get to a few more contemporaries while I'm at it and really get through those books. So we will see. This could help boost my balancing the books stats, or it could make me burn out from reading. We don't know. But yes, you'll have to wait until the end of the month to find out. Thank you for watching my TBR. Like I said, I'm going to leave Chelsea's video down in the description below. If you want to check anything out from me, it'll be down there as well. Make sure to click like if you enjoyed my video and to subscribe if you want to see how I do with these books or to see any more of my weird little face in any future videos. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys later. Bye!